Happy New Year, everyone! It's been a while, and I hope you're all doing well. Recently, I've been getting a lot back into Splatoon 2. For those who don't know what Splatoon is, it's basically an extreme game of online paintball played between kids who can turn into squids and octopuses. Today, I'm going to rank all of the Splatoon 2 online modes based on my preference, so if your favorite game mode is low, don't feel sad. Being honest, I don't think any of the online multiplayer modes are bad anyway, so this is just basically a what do I like more type of video, instead of ranking based on my negative emotions. That's enough of this intro and let's get started. First up, we have my least favorite mode, that being Turf War. Turf War is pretty self-explanatory. You claim turf, and to do that you shoot the floor. Yes, I know that sounds insane, but the idea of shooting the floor doesn't sound as bad as it sounds, considering you're basically painting it and expanding your mobility option since you can swim around in the ink. You're on a team, and whatever team claims the most turf at the end wins. If you come into contact with the member from another team, you can shoot them and kill them as well. Usually the games are pretty close unless you're playing with literal bots. It's pretty simple and just a nice grind to level up in. I like the simple idea of shooting the floor to claim turf, but not as much as I like the other game modes that I'll be listing on later on. Coming up after Turf War, we have Tower Control. It's basically one of those zombie apocalypse scenes in a movie where everyone is moving on a vehicle and shooting zombies trying to attack them. The objective of this game mode is to stand on a tower. Doing so allows the tower to move into the other team's direction, and you need to get it to a certain point while getting the number down to 0. Also, you need to make sure the other team isn't standing on the tower coming into your direction as well. I really like the concept of it, and it can make for some really interesting games, but then again, it isn't as high for me, considering how standing on the tower gets a little repetitive for me. I just like to play other game modes, I guess, where you can do more things instead of just standing on the tower and shooting at people. Up next, I'd say this is the most unique mode in Splatoon 2 as a whole, and it's really fun. Salmon Run is your basic wave survival game that many shooters have. You work with the team to collect salmon eggs from Mr. Grizz by murdering weird looking salmon creatures that look like they come straight out of SpongeBob. Trust me, it's more fun than it sounds. Also, I love the fact that the weapons you get are randomized. It can introduce you to a new type of weapon that you've never used in the game. Who knows, maybe while playing it you'll want to use that same type of weapon again. It's happened to me a couple times. Fighting the salmon and taking out the bosses for the eggs is really enjoyable and something I can continuously do for hours, especially with friends. We're into the second half of this list right now, and here are a few modes that I really enjoy, like no matter when or who I'm playing with. Splat Zones takes the number 3 spot on this list for me, and what can I say? It's really entertaining and fun to play. Basically take Turf War and condense it into one or a few zones that you and your team must claim and hold on to until time runs out. You hold off in the zones that you and your team claimed while the other team attacks you and tries to claim the spot. Depending on the map you're playing on, this game can get really intense. I love Splat Zones, and the only complaint I might have about it is sometimes some of the maps allow claiming and keeping it way easier than it has to be. I'm not gonna lie, at first when I started playing Splatoon 2, I despised Clam Blitz. I really never wanted to play it, but now I realize I must have been crazy back then. It took a lot of playing, but Clam Blitz really grew on me. It's probably the most complicated online mode in this game, so I won't waste any time explaining it. There are clams lying on the ground and you have to collect them to throw into a net that belongs to the other team. However, there's a barrier that protects the net that can only be broken by an American football. You receive the football by collecting 10 clams, or if your team's barrier was broken and just fixed, if I recall correctly. Try and get the counter down to 0 to win, or have the lowest number at the end. That's really fun, and I can't believe I used to dislike this mode before. However, there is one more game mode that I just have the most fun in, and that's facts. Of course I had to go with Rainmaker as my number 1 choice. I absolutely love this mode and prefer it over all the other game modes in this game. I'll play it until the game modes swap, since they do it every 2 hours. Might I add, I ain't a fan of that. Rainmaker is a mode where 2 teams have to carry a Rainmaker by destroying a force field around it that has a huge explosion of the team that destroys it color ink into the opposite team's territory to place it on top of a tower. The Rainmaker is an extremely powerful weapon that does a ton of damage and leaves a ton of squid and octopus carnage. However, holding it reduces your mobility by a lot. That's why you need your team to help escort you to the other team's tower. Unless you're a beast and could just carry your entire team by plowing through the other team down yourself, and if you can do that, well, good for you. Anyway, Rainmaker is really intense and always keeps me on my toes, and I guess that's why you can say it's my favorite game mode in Splatoon 2. Wow, that was something. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I would love to hear what your favorite online modes in Splatoon 2 are as well, so let me know down in the comments below. As usual, my socials including my Twitch and my Discord server are down in the description below, and thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.